Hi guys, thanks for joining us for another Cooking Kitchen video. This week's recipe features a traditionally Mexican breakfast dish called Huevos Rancheros, but we are really scaling it back and using ingredients that are very inexpensive and food bank friendly. The ingredients you're going to need are 4 tortillas. This recipe makes 4 servings. Half a cup of grated cheese. You can use American cheese, but I actually prefer to make this dish with feta cheese. I think it really gives a fresh feeling. Next, you're going to need some salsa. Jarred salsa is definitely acceptable for this recipe, but I have decided to include a bonus recipe in this video for some pico de gallo, which is somewhat similar to salsa. For that specific recipe, you're going to need 2 tomatoes, half of a white onion, the juice of a lime, and some cilantro and some salt. But again, this is totally optional. You're going to need some oil, mostly just to keep things from sticking, 4 eggs, and finally some refried beans. To get started, we're going to open our beans, drain that excess liquid off, and add them to a saucepan with some oil over a medium heat. We just need to reheat these. There's really no cooking that needs to be done with refried beans. And while that's heating up, you can go ahead and prepare your other toppings, grate your cheese, make your salsa if you're choosing to do so. Here's that pico de gallo recipe. Basically, you're just going to dice up these 2 tomatoes, half of an onion, squeeze some lime juice in there, and top it with a handful of cilantro, and then mix that all together. Like I said before, jarred salsa is totally fine to use in place of this. Doesn't it just look so good and fresh? Okay, so to make the eggs, we're just going to put some oil in a pan, and when it's hot, you can go ahead and fry your eggs. Eggs are a great source of protein. They are one of the few foods that are a complete protein, meaning that they contain all 9 essential amino acids. They're also very versatile, meaning you can cook them in so many different ways. You can hard boil them, you can poach them. This recipe specifically, we are frying them, but you could probably poach them as well, and that would be good. For this recipe, you can cook your yolk to the consistency that you want. You can leave it a little bit more runny. That's how I like mine. And then when your refried beans are all heated up, you can just add those to the top of the tortillas. I put probably about 1/4 cup on top of these tortillas, but these were small, like 6-inch tortillas. And then you're just going to place your egg on top. And your pico de gallo or your salsa. This recipe is really well balanced. It includes proteins, grains, vegetables, and dairy. So here I'm crumbling my feta cheese on the top. Again, you can use just like grated cheddar cheese if you prefer that. Feta cheese is a brined cheese made from sheep's milk. It has a sort of salty flavor. If you are looking at buying feta, feta is a great source of vitamin D and also protein, but it is also quite high in cholesterol, sodium, and saturated fats. You should watch how much you consume, but overall it is a fairly healthy cheese compared to some of the others on the market. And then I also top mine with some black pepper. This recipe is really budget friendly. I estimated it to cost about $1.89 per serving. And that's it. This is a really great breakfast recipe, definitely for a weekend. It does take a little bit longer to make, but it was delicious, and I'll definitely be making it again. Thanks for watching. Bye!